No one has ever survived. Like, I'm the only person that has survived the fall off the cliffs of Moher. So we left our bikes on the side of the road, and we started to walk down this steep incline, and it brings you to the very bottom of the cliffs. Three of us went down, but I obviously fell on the way down, so I started to tumble.
I knew something in my heart was wrong, because the guards came to the door and my husband went out. I was like, my goodness. And he said, there's one of your sons. But I said, there's two. I have two sons. I thought one had died, really.
When I fell, my friend ran to the top of the cliffs, and it took him an hour to climb back up, and he stopped he stopped the bus, and there was doctors on the bus. My brother was down there with me, Stephen. He was down there with me, comforting me. I suppose, like, I would have been all blood and I would have been unconscious, like. We have a coast rescue place in Doolin, like. They have 20, 30 members. They have all the equipment, gear, everything. So they came down and they started to launch the rescue to get me from the bottom of the cliffs, was to get me 700-800 feet back up, They made a call to all the local pubs in Doolin that they needed help at the cliffs. So all the local people came up from the pubs or whatever, 50 local people, all people that I know now these days as well, family, everyone came up, and they started to manually pull me up the cliffs. I think it took 2 hours, something like that.
When we got him to the top, he was a mess. So his head, when I looked at his head was like about twice the size. I was just in shock. And then he opened his eyes, and he was going in and out of consciousness, seemingly coming up the cliff. And when he opened his eyes was just black. So we proceeded to pray at that stage, and everybody around the whole rescue and everything just started praying.
I broke all my left-hand side of my body, my arms, my legs. I broke my jaws. I had a splenectomy, which was in my spleen. It erupted inside me, so that was probably the major part. They had to operate the minute I got to the hospital that night. I had to learn how to walk again. I had my jaws wired for 6-8 weeks, so I was fed through a tube, all that kind of stuff, yeah. Obviously there was someone looking over me that night. My family are very, very religious as well, so lots of prayers said after. I have to deal with some things every day now with my blood in my system. But regarding my mental health, and I don't suffer from anything. Like, I don't look back in any type of fear of anything, It's a beautiful place. Like, I'm delighted to go down there and say walk with my friends or family along them cliffs, and to show them where I fell.